And now to our other top story. A coroner has ruled Gabby Petito's death a homicide. Investigators searched a nature reserve in Florida yesterday looking for Petito's fiancé, Brian Laundrie. And police say they'll be out there again today. The FBI is calling Laundrie a person of interest in the case. Jericka Duncan is with us now from the search scene in Venice, Florida. Good morning, Jericka. What did the autopsy show?
Good morning to you. You know, going back to that autopsy, we really don't know a lot right now, other than that authorities are considering this a homicide. They didn't give any details as to how exactly Gabby Petito was killed, and it could be a couple of weeks before that final autopsy is reportable.
Yeah, and there was so much speculation in this case, Jericka, and people trying to come up with their own hypotheses on social media and beyond. So how does this conclusion of a homicide sort of change the perspective when it comes to this case? Are people now saying, oh, it does look like, you know, there's a criminal wrongdoing rather than she ran off into the woods and fell to her death or something like that?
I think a lot of people have varying opinions about what had happened, or what happened, I should say. When I spoke to some people outside who were sort of visiting the area, they believe, you know, oh, he probably had something to do with it. Another woman in the neighborhood when we were at in Northport in front of Brian Laundrie's home said she believed maybe, you know, it's connected to there were two other women in that area who were murdered, who were killed. So I think we don't really know, and it is still speculative in terms of what exactly happened, which is why, you know, we'll wait for that final report and for the experts to tell us what they found. But it's not any news that I know the Petitos wanted to hear, because they were hoping that they would find their daughter alive. So, you know, accident, no accident, their daughter is not with them anymore. So definitely a tough time for that family. But as it pertains to what's happening out here, as you mentioned, the search does resume here at the Carlton Reserve. And I just saw a Sarasota County Command Center vehicle drive by. We've seen more and more vehicles come in to this space where the media is located. We can't really see anything or any of the search efforts. We're relying on the officials to send us pictures, some of which they've posted online, showing that they have drone operators, they have ATVs, helicopters, people on the ground. And this ground, so to speak, is very swampy. There are alligators, there are snakes, so they have a lot to contend with. And as far as the search goes for Brian Laundrie, we don't really know how close they are. There were rumors overnight that Brian Laundrie was in police custody, but officials quickly shut those rumors down and said that's not true. We don't really know where they are in terms of the investigation here. Again, someone coming through with, said K9 on the truck, but an ATV and other vehicles, people showing their badges to officials that you can't see off to my left. Also coming through, again, it says K9 on that car. But we don't really know where they are, and that's typical. Police aren't going to tell us until they know something definitively. But I haven't heard anything from my sources about if they're any closer. But we'll, of course, stand by and wait to see what happens today and bring you all the very latest as this story develops. And
the Carlton Reserve, I think you mentioned yesterday, is just a few minutes away from where Brian Laundrie lived with his parents in Northport. Have you seen Brian Laundrie's parents at all when you were at the home yesterday?
So we were mainly stationed here yesterday, actually, but our affiliate, Wink, was able to capture some video of what appears to be Brian Laundrie's father coming out of the house. He left for about 10 or 15 minutes, it's my understanding, and then he came back. And what you have in situations like this is we're standing here and we're not going to leave unless, you know, we hear otherwise, whereas there are other, you know, our affiliates and other media outlets that are stationed at that home to see if anything happens there. There was so much activity there on Monday, as you remember. The FBI was there for several hours, as well as police officers taking things out of that home, potentially evidence as they try and figure out what exactly happened and possibly their involvement or what they may have known as it pertains to their son who returned home without his fiancée on September 1st.
Well, Jericka, we hope for more information today. Hopefully the people searching will find more clues and Brian Laundrie will be able to be questioned. Thank you.
Thank you.